Good morning, guys. Pam Neighbors here again, Trillium Inc. Scalp Academy on Trillium Inc. Studios. It's kind of nice meeting you guys for coffee in the morning. I'm liking this. I wake up fresh and I have a ton of ideas to share, and so this is really a good time to visit. So thanks for joining me here. I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about databases. And I know that one of the main things that our students are asking, they're needing help. How do I build my business? How do I move forward? How do I develop a campaign for this or that? And so I think it all comes down to gathering information. You know, you can have the best strategy in the world, but if you don't have a database to send it to, then you got to build one. So many of us, I was having a conversation with a friend who's been doing this almost as long as I have, just a couple weeks ago, and I was really surprised. I'm not going to mention any names, but she was telling me she didn't have a database. I asked her if she did, this type of marketing or that type of marketing, and she has not started collecting. She's collected the information, but it's still sitting in files, or she's got a written list. When you've been in business that many years, you cannot get information out to people via snail mail anymore. It's just not effective. It's going to cost you a bloody fortune to send stamps, and who has the time and the patience to lick all those envelopes? You need a database, and you need it in a format that you can have it in your system, and with the click of a button, you can email a promotion or a move notice or introduce a new service with the click of a button, and it doesn't cost you hardly anything. So if you're an old tech and you are like me, hesitant to start doing that, I suggest that you put some energy and time into that, because that's the only way you're going to be able to really get a good solid foundation and something to start marketing to. We've got 30 years with the people that trust us, or 10 or 5. Even if you're new, if you've just got a couple years, it doesn't matter. All of those people you've built relationships with, and you want to continue to utilize that list that you've worked for and build on it. So when you're building a database, what is some of the information you need to gather? Of course, emails make the world go round. So properly spelled names and emails are going to be first on your list. I like to collect phone numbers. My system sends out appointment reminders via text and email. So I try to get mobile numbers, of course. I do want addresses. I think that if you don't know the demographics of your clientele or the demographics of the clientele you're going after, you're missing something. You need to gather as much information about the client as possible so that you can learn more about who it is that tends to be your client. So in my state, we do have to collect birth dates, because tattooing, there is a legal age here, so it's easy to get birth dates, but I like it because it's just as a courtesy. It's nice to be able to send an e-card or whatever for birthdays. It kind of keeps that little tick in the back of someone's mind, who you are, what you do. Oh yeah, and those referrals are really important in our business, word of mouth referrals. So of course you kind of want to keep yourself back here in their ear. Don't want your clients to forget about you. It's easy when their eyeliner lasts them 10 years. That they don't forget who did it if they're asked directly. But I think in conversation it's really nice to know that there's a way that you stay kind of in touch with your clients. So when you're collecting information, birthdays is one. Some people like to collect occupations. What's your occupation? And some, you can collect as much information as you want, but get your emails, get your addresses, get your phone numbers, get those things, and get those in a format that it's easy for you to enter in your computer and be able to send those out easily. We'll talk more about marketing. That's one of the things that people are asking us an awful lot about. How do we build our business? How do we get those clients in the chair? And it all comes down to the very first thing you need to do is build your database, because that's how, like I said, it depends on the software you have, or if you have a marketing person that's doing it for you. But it begins with you right now getting your database together. So if you're a new tech, I would advise you put it in your paperwork, your client intake form, when you're asking all their health history and everything else. I want that email. You're not going to get an email if you don't ask for it. The other thing is, if people call you on the phone, A lot of people don't like to give you their email address because they're afraid you're going to just blow them up. So be courteous of them. But if there's a way that you can think of to get an email out of them, you want to keep them in your database, because guess what? If you're sending out a monthly flyer or a quarterly flyer, I've had people that I talked to originally a year ago, and the right e-flyer with the right before and after picture was the thing that got them to pick up the phone and call me. They've been thinking about it. Maybe they've been saving their money, but I'm going to nurture that. So even if they don't come in for a consult, if I'm on the phone, if they email me, you better bet I've got it. They go in my database. If I'm on the phone with them, or they've contacted me through Messenger, I'll always ask them, I'd love to send you some before and after pictures, or I invite them to look at my website. If you send me, one of the best ways to get it, if you're comfortable giving me your email, I'll be more than happy to put you in my database. And that way, if we have upcoming promotions, you'll get first notice on those. So everybody always wants to know if you're going to have a promotion on services, and that seems to be the thing that gets them over the edge for me to give me their email over the phone. So be thinking about that. Let's start, if you don't have a database and you're still collecting things in a physical form, let's start trying to get that together so that in some of our future talks, we can give you some ideas, because there's lots and lots you can do with that email list that's not going to cost you hardly anything. It'll really, really help you stretch your advertising budget out there, and it's incredibly effective. So everybody have a great day. Thanks for joining me again, and we'll talk a little bit more about how to market your business and make 2019 your best year ever.